Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's story is about Scary Mary. If you're enjoying all of my Final Fantasy XIV drama stories, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin the story. A few years back, I started to hang around in one of the popular areas to AFK/hang out in my server. I didn't have tons of friends or a clique that I'd talk to, but I would see people I knew occasionally. I started to hang with a group of people that I thought were pretty cool. They raided, did maps, hung out in voice call all the time, and were all around nice people. I met someone I consider one of my best friends online in this group. Eventually, I became a part of this group, and one day, while I was chilling in the voice chat with some friends, one of the girls in the group I hadn't talked to on voice chat yet joined the call. We'll call her Mary. I can't remember what we were doing, but she was silent until after I said something. Immediately, Mary said, "Oh, it's so nice to finally hear your voice. You're so kind in game and I've been waiting to talk to you." Mary spent the rest of the voice chat practically only speaking to me, which I didn't really think anything of at the time. After we all got off for the night, I saw a friend request from her and a DM saying hello and talking about how great it was to meet me. I replied and she continued to message me, asking things like my age, where I was at, etc. About 15 minutes after she added me, she said something like, "Oh, so-and-so told me you're in the military. Where are you stationed?" I told her where I was at the time, and she immediately responded with, "That's so close to where I live. Haha, we should get married." I kinda laughed it off and tried to steer the conversation somewhere else, but she asked right away if I wanted to see a picture of her. Before I replied, she sent a few pictures of herself. I felt a little uncomfortable at this point, but at the time, I really wanted to be part of this group, so I didn't say anything. She asked if she could see a picture of me, and I sent her one. Shortly after, she told me she was around 20 years older than me. Mary asked me again if I was married, and I said no. Mary then very enthusiastically told me about the benefits of getting married in the military, as if I didn't know, and that she'd make a great military spouse. This was only about 30 minutes This was only about 30 minutes after the first time I ever talked to her. Mary told me she'd love to be able to just stay at home all day and play Final Fantasy, and assured me she wouldn't cheat on me while I was deployed. She asked me again to come visit her, then sent me her phone number. At this point, I was super uncomfortable, so I asked a friend from the group for help. My friend, who we'll call Eric, said, "Oh yeah, sorry man, I mentioned you were in the military because she asked me about you. I'll talk to her about it." I waited an hour or two, then Eric messaged me again. He said, "Hey man, she's being pretty weird. I would just ignore her." I was a little weirded out by the situation, but I followed his advice since he knew her better than me. Mary kept messaging me, telling me how attractive she thought I was and how much she loved my voice, but I told her I was busy with work and that I couldn't talk. At this point in my game, I was still doing dailies and stuff. She would message me if she saw me doing dailies and say things like, "Really? You don't have the time to talk to me, but you have time to do dailies? Who are you doing them with?" Eventually, it got to the point where I told her she was making me feel uncomfortable as hell, and I asked her to leave me alone. She didn't reply for an hour, then left the Discord server we were all in together after saying she was transferring to another server. I went on about my business, and later that night, I get a text from Mary saying, "Really? That's it? Fine. Goodbye." I didn't really know what to say, so I didn't reply. A week or two later, she DM'd me a picture of her character and someone else and said something like, "Met the love of my life." I still didn't reply. A month or two after that, she DM'd me again, this time a picture of her and the same character, but in the wedding outfits. She said, "My boyfriend and I got married." I still didn't know what to say, but I congratulated her regardless. I tried talking to the other members of the group, but none of them seemed to really care that she left or think anything of the whole situation. Mary has messaged me a few times since over the years, but I've never really replied. I do truly hope that Mary finalized her fantasy. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry for breaking character when I was reading, but I found it so funny because I just can't fathom someone just straight up asking someone like that, like, we should get married IRL or in game. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she meant IRL, getting married, to have the benefits of being married to someone in the military. And it's just wild to me. And she just straight up said, you know, I just want to do nothing all day and play Final Fantasy 14 and be married to you. I just can't believe it. It's so funny. And she was like planning his life for him. He knew all these things already, and it's just like, you know, I don't know you. You don't know me. We've only been talking for a little bit on Final Fantasy 14, but fuck it. Let's get married because I want to play Final Fantasy 14 all day. While you do some hard work. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy 14 drama story. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra. And I'll see you guys in my next video.